Bam. Welcome to the Grassroots Army podcast. I am, of course, your host, former Michigan gubernatorial candidate Garrett Sodano, and I'm excited because it is Financial Month, the financial pillar that I've been yapping about over the past several months with being Grassroots Army Strong, and it's more important than ever right now to make sure that your finances are in order, especially with what I feel the economic crisis that is upon us. So today I wanted to bring on Joe Lombardi, who founded Iron Hawk Financial back in 2018, to talk about some different options that you can do with planning and everything else. And, I listened to you on a couple interviews, Joe. Number one, thank you for being on the show today. But I really like how, you're talking about investing in the long-term accounts, kind of like tapping in to what the wealthy do, right? Because that's all we hear is the rich keep getting richer, and us middle-class folk, we just continue to get hammered down, and we can't break into that upper echelon of wealth. And you have a pretty specific strategy allowing people to do that, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. So before we get into that, let's talk about your kind of story. It's a pretty important story about your family and stuff that kind of got you involved and where your passion and basically your why.
Yeah. I was supposed to be a contractor, a construction or a general contractor with my dad. I was supposed to take over his business, Lombardi Builders. And about 25 years ago, he was doing a project in Greenwich, Connecticut, and he ended up falling 3 stories off a ladder and bone in his foot disintegrated, and basically lost 40 years of building his business because he didn't have the proper financial products and strategies, and he basically didn't have a fire plan. So when a fire came, it just destroyed him. He lost everything. He had 9 guys, 8 trucks. He was doing huge projects in a very wealthy town. He didn't have a foundation, and he failed the plan, so it was planned to fail. And here I am, I'm 15, and I had a sister that was born 2 pounds 7 ounces with alcohol syndrome, and I basically had to step up as the parent role because her mom was my ex-stepmom was in rehab because she drank vanilla extract and Listerine, and we found the receipts after the divorce. And it was really a tough time. I had to drop out of football, track, and basketball, go work at a daycare in Fairfield, Connecticut. And, I realized that all the resources my dad had, all the money he had, the real estate, the stocks, the this, the that, but he never thought to himself, hey, what if something happens? Is my family safe? And I found out that that's pretty much how it is in the blue collar middle class market. I mean, they're one accident away, one diagnosis away from losing everything: their home, their quality of life, their kids' social life. Their, most spouses either don't work or they're a nurse or a teacher. You can't survive on that income solely with a family. So it really opened my eyes. And then shortly after that, I ended up seeing my mother pass away at 52 years old, cirrhosis of liver from alcoholism. About 18 months later, my grandmother had a stroke, led to dementia. She ended up losing $4.2 million to a nursing home. She had no long-term care. It took my grandfather 40 years to build that nest egg. He owned Lombardi masonry. So it was something that I found that unless you're ultra wealthy and have like a whole council of people, accountants, CPAs, attorneys, financial planners, insurance agents, which the average person doesn't have, you're opening yourself up to a huge crisis emotionally, but then the floodgates open and you're hit financially. And so I basically wanted to build foundations for business owners. I wanted to build foundations for people that had something to conserve. Hence, I work with a lot of conservatives. And I just wanted to protect people. I thought that was my calling in life. And I found a really good strategy working 21 years in this industry for 4 major carriers before I opened up my own firm. And the strategy saves millions in taxes. It has double-digit returns. It protects your family. So it finds a way to make you money while still protecting your family. So I just been screaming it from the rooftops, telling people, you got to look into Section 7702 of the IRS. You got to look into overfunded, IULs, whole lives, being your own bank, infinite banking, rich person's Roth. This is a strategy that's been around 175 years that the ultra wealthy always take advantage of because it's sue-proof, divorce-proof, tax-free, non-disclosable on the FAFSA form, doesn't disqualify your children from grants, scholarships, loan trade student loans, financial aid. It's tax-free, it's liquid. It has 15% rate of returns over the last 20 years, tax-free. It has non-direct recognition. It's just unbelievable because it's built by the wealthy. So you want to do what the government builds, which is to screw you, excuse my French, or do you want to do what the ultra wealthy do and play on their playground? So it's just trying to get that information out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unload with what you just said because a lot of people just don't know what they don't know, right? And they just kind of do what they were taught growing up, and a lot of us don't have, families and relatives who are ultra wealthy. We just kind of do what our parents and our grandparents and everything else do. So, when we're trying to like tap into this thing and break into that next kind of ceiling of wealth and finances, kind of everything you just said makes sense to me because a lot of people, I have the mentality of this, expect the best, prepare for the worst, right? And having that kind of layer of protection is huge. Even in my business, I'm fortunate that I have a doctor that works with me. And when I ran for governor, my clinic was still going, right? That's kind of like the backup plan. But if I was just a single doctor working myself, I could not have ran for governor if I would have broke my hand. I can't be a chiropractor with a broken hand, so you have to have these layers of protection. And I think right now, Joe, and you probably would agree, is, the economic crisis that's happening. I mean, we just continue to go in debt as a country. We continue to spend more. And you're starting to see it. Like people are starting to slowly wake up now and say, you know what? I'm not going out to eat this week. I'm going to eat at home. People are starting to make these choices, which in the long run, it bogs down the economy. It really does. If people aren't spending money, then the economy is going to slowly falter. But people have to because the inflation, the rising grocery prices, they can't afford a house. So what's your advice to those folks? The folks right now that, they have their income, they may have a significant other income, but now back in the day, that would be enough to put some money away. What's your advice for them, for the folks out there who are just trying to keep the lights on and put food on the table?
Yeah, so I've written 3 books on Amazon called Being Your Own Bank, There's a Better Way Than a 401k, and Long-Term Care Without Long-Term Pain. My 4th book is going to be coming out, which teaches clients how to utilize your mortgage and your bank account to open up a home equity line of credit, revolving, which allows you to pay off your mortgage about 7 to 8 years quicker without putting a single dollar extra into your mortgage. Just instead of leaving all your money in the banks where the banks are making all the money on your money, you're making nothing. You be your own bank. That strategy too. So my advice to the American people right now is pretty simple. It's have a tight budget. If you don't know what's going on with your dollars, then your dollars will just do whatever they're going to do. And it's sort of like if you have children, you want to make sure they're in the right spot. Are they going to school? Are they have an extra school activity? Are they getting their exercise? Are they eating healthy? It's the same thing financially. What most Americans do, we're very blessed here with so much money. But I just watched a video the other day about a guy in Mexico who makes $20 a day, who has a better quality of life than us, making $60,000 a year. And it comes down to there's 4 levers when you take a look at the economy, right? You have taxes, you have the stock market, you have inflation, and you have interest rates. Well, those 4, I call them the levers, right? So when you take a look at an investment, right, similar to like, let's say a 401k or an IRA, well, the levers are all against the American people right now. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, if taxes go up, you're going to lose. If the market goes down, you're going to lose. Or when, should I say? When interest rates go up, you're going to lose. And when inflation goes up, you're going to lose. You're going to lose your 401k, the value of your home. You're going to lose liquidity. You're going to lose the purchasing power of your dollar. So having a foundation set up that protects your family from easy things we can predict. We owe $300 trillion in U.S. unfunded liabilities, Medicare, Social Security, and our national debt, which can easily be seen at usdebtclock.org. Taxes here in the United States in the 1980s, when I was born, were 70% highest marginal. In the 1960s, they were 91.2% highest marginal. So if you think if we owe a lot of debt, there's only one place taxes can go. That's up. If the market's at an all-time high, there's only one place the market can go. It's down. When the government prints money into infinity, inflation has nowhere to go but up. And when inflation goes up, because it's correlated to interest rates go up. So instead of having all your eggs in one basket, meaning a 401k or an IRA, and that includes another 20 accounts, SEP, Simple, Pension, 457, 403b, those are all the exact same accounts. They're just titled different for different sectors of the population, but they're all the same. High feed, illiquid, totally, in the casino of the stock market. And there's three parties to that contract. You have the government, right? Because they're going to take their half. You have the Wall Street between 12B1 fees, Class A share fund fee, money manager fee, annual account fee. They're going to take their half over 30 years. 1.25% times 30 compounding is over 50%. So you're going to be left with less than a quarter of your money. Then you take a look at when do Americans access their 401ks and IRAs? They do it when banks are lending at 0%. Everyone's getting their 10%. Everybody's happy. Or do they do it when there's a huge crash? Banks tighten up. They lose their job. Or if they own a business, they're not selling as much. So you're talking about an asset between market loss, 10% penalty, federal tax, state tax, FICA, Medicare, unemployment, Social Security tax. You are netting less than a third of your money when you need it in a down market. Do you think that's where the ultra wealthy put their money?
No, not at all.
So it's very simple, right? I don't know if your viewers remember the debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and they're fighting about taxes. And Donald Trump, show your tax return, you don't pay taxes. And Trump says what? I just use the same IRS codes that you and your donors and your billionaire donors use.
Yep.
That's my strategy. My strategy consists simply of using life insurance because the death benefit is legally tax-free. Therefore, if you overfund and stick a bunch of cash inside of it, all that money's legally tax-free. And then if you overfund it, all that money can go into the company and get a dividend. It can go into Morgan Stanley, go into US Paysetter, which is a group of funds. It can go into a ton of different avenues of an investment strategy. And because I only use AAA rated mutual 175-year plus insurance and investment companies, you can't lose. They actually guarantee 2%. So now you're in the market with a 2% floor, with an average historical rate of return of 15 tax-free. And you compare that to a taxable S&P 500 or target fund. Those target funds came out like 10, 15 years ago. They are straight garbage. When you take a look at those returns, those low fees, and then if you compare that to other alternative investments, it's not even in the same ballpark. 7% taxable, and that's 4. 15% tax-free, and that's 15. Do you want 4 or 15?
Yeah.
Do you want to have access to it, or do you want to handcuff your money to your 59.5?
Yeah, and if you withdraw it, you're going to get all types of penalties and everything else with your 401k and everything else. So that's you go ahead. No, go ahead.
So with my strategy, when you say withdraw it, you want to know the coolest feature about this? Just to get long-term care, life, disability, sue-proof, tax-free, all that cool stuff. There's something called non-direct recognition, meaning if I had $100,000 in my account or 401k or in my strategy, right? I pull out $90,000. The lien or the loan goes against the death benefit. And I'm taking the loan out of the general account. So my investment account's untouched. So I still have $100,000 in the market earning compounding interest when $90,000 of it's sitting in a real estate deal earning me 12%. So now I can earn 2 streams of income on $1. It's the coolest thing ever if you can really understand it. And all this information's out there.
Yeah.
In banking, be your own bank. This used to be impossible to get this information. Now you go to social media, everyone's talking about it now because it just destroys the 401k. And I think we're in an awakening as a country, as a world. So I think people are going on to the next level of awakening to realize, hey, I'm in a bad deal here. I'm being taken advantage of in fees. I'm being taken advantage of in illiquidity. The government says you can't touch your own money. Bad, Joe. You have to wait till you're 59 and a half, or we're going to charge you with 10% penalties. You can't trust you. It's like, what? I'm God's children. We are equal. We're equal under God. But yet you're going to try and claim you're more powerful than me, hold my money, which people think, oh, money's not a big deal. Money's your time. There's only one way to earn money. That's to trade time for money. So your life is your money. And people are so nonchalant with it. It's like, I just traded hours to give it to the government so that they can take my money, send it overseas, or they can stick these illegal immigrants in these luxury 5-star hotels. And it's cool, whatever. I'm just going to make more. I'm just going to be more of a slave.
Yeah.
Us Americans were slavery through two very easy things to identify: debt and taxation. If you add up all the taxes, state, federal, FICA, Medicare, unemployment, cell phone, car, sales, property, car, then you take all the debt, student loans, mortgage, auto, you want solar, there's a 30-year loan. So we cripple our future selves as an economy because we're brainwashed on instant gratification. If you want something, get it now. Everything's about now because we live in a debt society. As you were saying when we first started talking, we don't go to the restaurants. We don't accrue more debt on our credit card because most people don't pay for cash anymore. They just put it on their Discover or their Capital One. They go more in debt. Everybody wins. And in reality, nobody wins because you're not building any value. You're not giving yourself a 3 to 6 month protection when this market crashes. It's on stilts right now, if you can even call it stilts.
Yeah, they're propping it up. That's for sure. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And we're just kind of all patiently waiting for everything to get cut in half, right? All of our life savings, everything that we worked for. Joe, so what is the initial investment? If somebody's resonating with what you're saying, they're like, hey, I like this guy. I want to set up a meeting. I included already in the description your link to your website for folks to find you and get a hold of you that way. But what are kind of the initial investment that you're looking for that you'll do business with? Is it 50? Is it 100? What is it?
So as of right now, I've never charged a client $1 in 20 years of my career. I never lost a client $1 in 20 years. It's how I maintained my 5-star rating on Google and my A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau, dealing with over 2,000 clients and over $1 billion of protection and rollovers across all 50 states. My initial so-called investment, I work with people who give me $50 million a year. I'm on all the DraftKings commercials nationwide. I work with 3 Fortune 500 companies. I try and help people. I have clients who do $200 a month. My goal is to provide value. On a rollover side, if you have an IRA, 401k, SEP, simple pension, you're very nervous about the market collapsing, which most of my clients are. I'm doing about $2 million a week in rollovers of taking people's 401ks and IRAs, SEP, simples, pension, deferred 457s, 403bs, and putting those into fixed index annuities backed by 176-year-old AAA rated mutual investment companies. Those rate of returns have been double digits historically, and you cannot lose. That's the important part because of option contracts. So the rollover side is a $25,000 minimum if you have an IRA, a 401k, a SEP, a simple pension, and that's not my minimum. That's the carriers that I have worked with because I'm a master broker. I am owned by nobody. I own the business. You go meet with somebody at New York Life, Northwestern Mutual, Ameriprise, World Financial Group, Prime America, they're owned. They have to sell those crappy products, excuse my French. So me being an independent, me being a broker, me having access to the entire market, instead of working for a company's best interest, I work for my client's best interest. If there's a carrier that's better than another, I have the option to provide that. 99% of financial advisors, financial planners, financial consultants, CFPs, whatever, because there's 100 names for us, they have to sell that product because they need X amount of money per year in that dollars to get their pension credits, to get their match 401k, to get their dental and vision and health insurance. I take care of all that on my own because I own the business. So having no allegiance to a company, but having allegiance to my clients separates me from my competition. Not even the same ballpark. So at the end of the day, I have a whole team. I have a guy that'll do an entire budget for you. There's a 10 times guarantee, whatever his fee is, that he'll save you that. And if he doesn't, it's all free. And I've already sent him 300 clients. They're all happy. I have a property and casualty guy if you want to save money in your auto and home. I have a lawyer if you want a will. I have a CPA if you're looking to have your taxes done properly. I'm the quarterback, right? But I have a whole team. I got a wide receiver. I got a running back. I got a fullback. I got a tight end. So I built an entire financial consulting practice similar to my dad's construction company because I copied what he did. He was a GC, but he had what? He had a roofer, he had a driveway guy, he had a painter, he had a plumber, he had an electrician, he had a painter. He had the whole thing. So whenever anybody needed services, he was a one-stop shop to provide value. And me prepping all these people and looking in their bios and working with them, knowing they're good quality people, allows my clients to feel comfortable to say, well, Joe, you did a great job for me. Who do you know who does X? Who do you know who does Y? And if I have somebody I highly recommend I've worked with in the past, I'll put my name on them to maintain my reputation, keeping them as a client, keeping my ratings high. That's the difference working with me. And by the way, I've never charged a client $1. Well, then how do you make money, Joe? If you're doing all this work, when I do a rollover, company pays me a finder's fee. When you start a new retirement account, company pays me a finder's fee for the $1. But me working with volume, because I do so much, I'm actually ranked 2 in the world in a Fortune 500 company in production right now. And who's number 1? My partner, and I will be passing him very soon. And so when you take a look at that, it's making sure that your plan has purpose. Most people's plans is called the blindfold dart throw plan, which means they just cover their eyes, they throw darts. I have a Acorns account, I have a brokerage account, I have a 401k, I have an IRA, I have a real estate rental property, but I don't know how it all works. How does it work from taxation? How does it work if the market goes down? How does it work if I need money? Is there any liquidity feature in there? What if I get disabled? What if I need care? What if I'm sued? What people don't understand. Well, what do I do? An LLC? Do I do an ILA trust? Is it irrevocable? Is it revocable? What? So there's so much information and confusion that people are in paralysis.
Yep.
So having a defined plan to say you are in Connecticut and you want to get to Michigan, are you going to hop in the car and just go? Or are you going to plan out? Where's the best hotels? Do I have AAA? Are my tires all good to go? Am I packed up? Is there any cool places to see on the way? What's the traffic patterns? What time should I leave? Or you just say, time to go, hop in. So that's what the average American does. They just hop in, and then when there's a flat tire, when there's a traffic jam for 4 hours because they went to the wrong way, it's woe is me, boo-hoo. Let me start a GoFundMe page because I need money because I was a poor planner. Well, God gives you the resources. When you earn money, that's God's money. And so if you're not taking care of that and you are not being responsible with that, and when things don't go your way, people want to say, oh, it's the economy. Oh, I had people in the market crashes who triple their money. I can prove it to you. 2008, yep. Client owned 5 Harley dealerships. He had over a couple $100,000 in my strategy, which is tax-free and liquid. He said, Joe, I need some money. I own 5 Harley dealerships. There's no way stock should be $17 a share. It was just at $77 a share like 2 weeks ago. I want it all. He takes out $200,000 that he had in his account, liquid, soup, tax-free, no 1099, no W-2, no 10% penalty, no federal tax, no state tax. Pulls the money out, buys Harley stock because his whole family, his great-grandfather owned a Harley dealership, his grandfather, his father, him, he was inherited it. He ended up turning $200,000 over $1 million in 3 months.
Yeah.
Here, Joe, there's your $200,000 back. Thanks, buddy. Yep. Sold out at $75 a share. And so having that liquidity is vital.
It is. And that's where, like, you talk about the depression back in the 30s, the most millionaires were made then, because people had the access to their cash to say, hey, I'm going to take advantage of this down market. And that's exactly what they do. But I like your kind of example. People are paralyzed. They don't know what to do. They don't know what's the best option. And that's why I wanted to bring you on today, is to have this conversation so people don't have to be paralyzed. At least we're opening the door of a conversation where they can get a hold of you and say, okay, I heard what you said with Garrett. This is how much I have in my 401k. What's my options? What can I do? Because that just makes sense. Because do you feel, to go off on a little tangent with you, like, do you feel that there's an economic crisis? I mean, are all signs pointing to this? Do you think there might be a recovery? I think even if President Trump wins, I don't think he's going to be able to turn the ship around. He's just going to be able maybe to stop the bleeding. What are your thoughts?
So my thoughts are very simple. The powers that be do things intentionally. Most people don't. They just flow through the wind. So I believe what they're going to do is they're going to allow Donald Trump to win. And us Republicans are going to be very, very happy. Conservative, patriots, whatever the heck you want to call us. Then what are they going to do? Well, if the market's up 40% in the last 12 months, who is making the market up 40%? I talked to thousands of people. They don't say, oh, I doubled my 401k contributions. I started investing more in crypto. Crypto's up 800%. Where are all these gains coming from? Do you know that when COVID happened, more money was printed than God in those 2 years? Those money all went into the system. People bought their Hellcats and their motorcycles and their vacations. And where did all that money go? To the top. It went to who? SG Global, PIMCO, Vanguard, BlackRock.
Yep.
So what I think is going to happen is those companies who have been funding, because they're more liquidity than you can even fathom, because all that money went to them, plus all the PPP loans that these major $1 trillion companies got. They got like $800 billion checks to keep their payroll alive. So all those people are now dripping money in the market. When I say people, I mean hedge funds, the people in power.
Yep.
They're dripping money, which is making it like, look at that, my house doubled, right? I own a bunch of rental properties. I made millions of dollars on paper. I make a penny, but my net worth did, right? Which that's a whole nother conversation, net worth versus income. But I digress. They're going to allow Donald Trump to win, in my opinion. Then they're going to pull the rug, maybe 30 days, 60 days, because after he wins, people are going to be very happy. Oh, the market's going to keep going up. Donald Trump's the best. And they're going to put him in a place to fail like they did with COVID.
Yeah. Wow.
So
yep.
I think the powers that be, because the Dominion machines dictate the elections, not us. No way Biden got 81 million views, and I'll take that to my grave. So if we know that it's rigged, and there's a lot of indicators why, 9,000 mules, there's tons of evidence, but there's not a smoking gun, right? I believe in my heart, in my soul, that this world we live in is rigged, and they lie to us continuously. And what we think life is, it isn't. But again, that's a whole other podcast. So when they let Donald Trump win, in my opinion, they're going to say, oh, Donald Trump's in. Oh, orange man bad. Boom. Pull the market, pull Bitcoin, everything that you are so happy with. And then they're going to go on CNN and MSNBC. And what are they going to say?
Yep.
Under Biden, we were getting 40%, because that was our argument for 4 years. And how opposing, I'm not going to say Democrat versus Republicans, that I hate dividing us because we're all Americans. But you know how one party always attacks the other, whether it's Republican attacking Democrat, Democrat attacking Republican.
Yeah. Recent
history has shown that Democrats will say the Republicans are doing something wrong when they're doing the exact same thing they're accusing them of. And there's 100 different reasons why. So we, Republicans, have been saying for years, I'm saying all of your viewers, so me, being a Republican, has been saying for many years that the economy under Trump was amazing. The gas prices were $1, right? This is what all the echo. And the Democrats are going to say, okay, you want that echo? We're going to raise the market. We're going to let your savior win. And then we're going to pull the rug. Now we're going to pull the economy. Now we have all these legal immigrants.
Yeah.
That they brought in, most of them military age. How many pictures of women have you seen that they pulled from all these countries?
Not many.
I haven't seen many. So now we have this whole faction of a population that, what are they here for? We don't know. Could it be nefarious? I don't know. Does the government usually do good things? Not really.
Yep.
So now they let the market crash. Now they let the illegal immigrants do whatever their plan B is. And now Donald Trump's left there saying, our country's crumbling, And then the Democrats can be like, see, there's your savior. All your money's gone. All your jobs are gone. Look at that. That's who you guys wanted. Are you sure you guys want to keep voting Republican? So I think they're going to fix it against us. And the only way to protect yourself from that is to have a portion of your net worth, at least financially. I mean, done, have ammo, have alarm systems, have camera, have a garden, have storage of food, which I've done all of those things. I'd rather be prepared and not need it than need it and not be prepared.
Absolutely. No, you're speaking our language, man.
So when you take a look at what's going on, it's, to me, I see it because I'm 2 decades plus in the financial economic industry. And then if you bring the politics into it, and then I pray, like, what's going on? Can you please allow me to protect my 3 children and my non-working spouse? Can I please have some sort of edge so that I can do the right thing? And I'll be the first to say, in 2020, I sold everything out of my retirement accounts 3 weeks before the market crash. I didn't know they were just going to write a check. I would have been better off leaving it there, losing 20, gaining 30. But hey, at least I'm a conservative, moderate investor. If you want to be aggressive, go to the casino or bet on a football game. It's a lot more fun if you're going to get your ass kicked. Excuse my French. So and plus you get like a free dinner and a free show while they're taking all your money.
Yep.
So, that's just, my strategy. So when it comes to politics, that's option A. Option B is I don't think they're going to do this, but let Biden win again, right? Yeah. And then they're just going to slowly drip the economy down. And then the news organizations are going to say, guys, we got to have the market go down because all that money was printed. We don't want to end up like Venezuela, 80% inflation. So we just have to let the market drip down. We're going to have to go tighter on monetary policies, because once the new president comes into office, there's no more roads getting done. There's no more construction. There's no more look how good we are as a government. It goes back to 3 years of same old same. They do whatever they want. They hurt us. They attack us. They take from us. And then they say, the election year, everything's going to be fine. So my 2 predictions are simple. They let Trump in. They just get everybody excited because conservatives have something to conserve. They usually have most of the money. Middle class is the whole entire glue to our economy, even though they attack us every day.
Yeah.
And we're going to get excited. So we're going to say, let's dump money in the market. And the market's going to go up. Then all the wealthy, all the BlackRocks, Vanguards, PIMCOs, SG Global, pull the market, buy back into the market at 40 to 60% discounts, double or triple their net worth, and us American middle class will be left holding the bag.
Yeah. God.
Or they drip down the economy and they let Biden win and say, we're doing everything we can. I know the market's going down 5, like they did with gasoline. Yeah. We know gas is $4 when it was $1.20. But that's what we have to do. We got to be clean energy. We're going to shut down the Keystone pipelines. We're going to go totally dependent on other countries' production. But this is what we have to do because we're good government and we have to make you suffer. And it's okay. And I think they're going to do the same thing in the market if Biden wins.
And either way, the rich will get richer.
It's all designed that way. That's why if you want to be a winner, do you copy the winner or do you copy the loser?
Yeah, amen, man.
So do what winners do. Do what the ultra wealthy do. Set up tax-free, liquid, non-market correlated, sue-proof, divorce-proof in some state type of accounts. Protect your family. Take your IRA 401k that's up godly amounts of money in the last 12 months and lock it in. You already won the jackpot at the casino. And you're sitting there saying, I want to double down. Run! How many times in your life have you earned 40% rate of return in your accounts? Tell me. I'll wait.
Yeah.
One? This right. One? Lock it in.
Yeah.
Because and the cool thing about my strategy, if the market continues to go up into forever, historically, you make more money than if you had a naked IRA or 401k account.
And then when it does crash, you can do what the wealthy do, is reinvest that bad boy and make 40%.
That's right. That's the strategy whole is buy low, sell high. And most Americans have an inverse relationship with purchasing goods and services and purchasing investments. What do I mean by that? Well, if you go to Walmart and they sell a shirt you really like for $20, are you going to buy it for $50? No, you're going to wait till it's on sale to buy it for $10.
Yep.
But if you own stock in your retirement account, do you wait until everybody else is so happy and the greed factor and everything's going to keep going up to infinity and you buy that shirt for $50? Or would it be smart to wait till the market crashes and buy that shirt for 10 or that stock? So it's an inverse purchasing behavior that Americans have between stocks, bonds, retirement, and goods and services. And it's just identifying that and saying, I'm going to stop being manipulated, brainwashed, and controlled by misinformation and by lack of ignorance when it comes to that stuff.
Awesome. Hey, Joe, I mean, you hit it right out of the park, man. Thank you so much for coming on today. I think a lot of our viewers are going to resonate with this. Scary stuff. There's no doubt about it, but you have to be aware of this stuff. You have to understand how it works, and having people like yourself to take advantage and guide people throughout this process is huge. And so I put your company's link in the description. That's how folks can get a hold of you.
Yeah, so on my website, www.ironhawkfinancial.com, there's a contact us button. That would be your name, your email, and your phone number only. I'll reach out to you when as soon as I can.
Yep.
In regards to, I want to offer your entire listeners all my books for absolutely free. Okay. If you want to get my Be Your Own Bank, my There's a Better Way Than a 401k, and Long-Term Care Without Long-Term Pain, I will send you all of them for free. All you have to do is just go to send me an email to Joe, Joe, at ironhawkfinancial.com. Iron like the metal, hawk like the bird, financial. And just put free books. I'll send you a Calendly link if you want a book, but I will not bother you. You won't be on any type of promotional list. My goal is just try to get as much information out there that people care about their financial future. They care about protecting their family financially. And a lot of people want to do that. They just don't know where to go. They don't know who to trust. They don't know, is this guy full of crap? Is this guy only here trying to sell me something to make a commission or to make money? Or does this guy really care about making sure that I'm safe? And that's my number one goal. And so just write an email, free books. I'll send you books. I've been featured in International Business Times. I've been featured in Business Insider. I'll send you those articles. I also have 2 Forbes articles that talk about my strategy, one written by a certified financial planner, one written by a certified public accountant. I'll send you those articles, all for free. And if you want to work with me after reading them, cool. If you don't, that's totally fine. At least if I can bring you value, I know that I'm doing the right thing, channeling God's energy to try and make the world a better place. That's all I'm trying to do every day of my life.
That's awesome, Joe. Hey, thank you so much. And I feel that you're going to get a lot of contacts. That's for sure, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show and explaining this. I appreciate your time.
I appreciate your platform, Garrett. Thank you very much.
You bet, your brother. Have a great day. God bless you. Wow. Man, oh man, I didn't know he was going to go into that much detail with his perspective on things. Interesting. So again, if you, like me, you don't know what to do. You're just like, what's the best way of doing this? The market's being artificially held up. Where do I put my money? I'm diversified. Am I diversified enough? Am I protected? Do I have an ability to take advantage of the market when it's down? These are all really great questions. So I'm urging all of you, if you have some good questions, if you think about that you'd want to talk to Joe, I'd strongly encourage you to get a hold of him and just have a conversation, because that just makes sense to me. If you can take the profits that you've already accumulated and roll that thing over your 401k or whatever else into something that's a little bit safer and still take advantage of the profits, but also have the liquidity to be able to take advantage of a down market, I think that's very wise. Yeah, I truly, truly do. And folks, I agree with him. I didn't even think of the trickle down that he talked about if Biden wins, the slowly let it go down, excuse me. But definitely some things to think about. And it's, hey, prepare for the worst, expect the best. And that's what I wanted to do here today. This whole month, I will be not only calling out the hot garbage as I usually do, but I'm really going to start talking about multiple sources of income. Obviously, we talked about finances today. I'm here to help you any way that I can for you to be protected, your family protected for long-term growth and success. Okay. That's the whole goal here in the month of April, is to do everything I can for our movement to protect you guys. And so you guys have options and we don't get blindsided like we did during the lockdowns. Okay. So this whole month, finances, I'll be talking about multiple levels or multiple sources of income. I'll talk about multi-level marketing companies, which I am a firm believer in. For those of you out there, I'm involved in the Juice Plus company. I'm very proud of that. I'm a national marketing director with the Juice Plus company. Juice Plus had my back during the entire lockdowns in my run for governor. So I always will support that company. And I'm very proud to be affiliated with that company. I know I get a lot of heat for being in multi-level marketing. man, I'm going to break all that down because it only makes sense to me is if you're involved in multi-level marketing, whether it be makeup, nutrition, wine, essential oils, I don't care what it is. I would rather give my money and time to somebody who's trying to pay for dance lessons for their daughter or trying to make an extra source of income than giving it to the big box stores. That's in essence what a multi-level marketing company is you're supporting your friends, your community, your neighbors and their business ventures instead of giving it to who? The Amazons of the world. Just makes sense. And so I will be breaking that down on future lives. And then we are going to continue to educate you guys on how to not only protect yourselves, but take advantage. And also got to get a side gig. I'm also going to talk about monetizing your TikToks and your social media and all that. I can't monetize mine because they don't like my content. They always say that I'm spreading hate. So I am not monetized. I've tried it. And they just do not like the content that I produce. That's for sure. But there's great opportunities with whatever you do. So I'm going to give you a bunch of examples of some influencers out there that are doing a really good job with just what they do every single day. So it's going to be a fun month, exciting month, but also just giving you guys the tools to be successful. All right. God bless you. God bless the state of Michigan. Of course, and always God bless these United States. Till next time.